Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Now, this one's gonna be like one of the ones that I did a couple of days ago. Something happened with the webcam and stuff that I have to do post-con, but it's still alive, so let's get to it. So basically what happened was I have the same team, not the team that I've been using past two episodes, I think it was, but before that, finally finished my dragon. So now that we lost 2 battles in a row, I changed it up with the Dragonite over Kingdra. So his first battle is against Nick from Pennsylvania. He's going to be bringing Bisharp, Noivern, Aegislash, Kangaskhan, Rotom Heat, and Gyarados. Now, looking at his team, my Gardevoir is pretty useful, but not the most useful. Rotom Wash is going to be very useful, hitting, getting the burn off on Bisharp, Thunderbolt onto the Gyarados. I'm thinking, I want to bring Conkeldurr, but I'm a little hesitant of bringing Conkeldurr only because the Intimidate from the Gyarados and stuff like that. So my other choice is, I'm trying to think if I can remember what it was. I can't even think of my team. That's not good. I know I brought Gardevoir, I know I brought Rotom Wash, but I don't think I started off with Gardevoir. I think I started off with... Well, you know what, we'll see in a couple of minutes. Trying to remember it is not going to be the most helpful. But definitely looking at his team, Rotom Wash is a sure winner. It hits pretty much, not everything super effectively, but its, support role with Will-O-Wisp is going to be incredibly useful. Second to none, really. Oh, I brought Ferrothorn. Yeah, that's definite. So I think I started off with Gardevoir and Rotom Wash. But as with anything, we will see it in about 2 seconds. So Nick is issuing a challenge, and let's see how we respond. So we do in fact start off with Rotom Wash and Gardevoir, while he starts off with Gyarados and Bisharp. So that's cool. I'm hoping, I don't trace the Intimidate. I don't. I get the Defiant. Had that been competitive, this would have been a whole different match. Because the Intimidate would have brought me up to +2 special attack, and being my Mega Pokemon, that's going to be insane. So I'm thinking, alright, I can Thunderbolt the Gyarados, but I don't really want to. Gyarados isn't posing me a threat right now. So I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Bisharp, because the Bisharp is going to be the thing that I need to. I'm going to Mega Evolve with Gardevoir, and I think I go for the Protect, just to scat out to see what he does, and all that. So I Mega Evolve, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty solid. And then he Mega Evolves, and I was like, oh, that's not... Mold Breaker. Oh, man. And then I was like, oh, then the Bisharp's going to Protect, and then he's just going to attack my Rotom. Oh, jeez, I didn't think that through. And I was like, well, you know what, let's calm down for a second. Earthquake may be super effective on my Rotom, but I have a strong feeling that we'll be able to survive this attack. I really do feel like we can survive this. So I withdraw all my scariness, and I'm thinking, alright, we're going to survive this Earthquake. We'll get a Will-O-Wisp off next turn. And now the real question is, who do I Will-O-Wisp? I'm thinking, well, Bisharp's going to go for Iron Head on my Gardevoir. That's really, really painstakingly obvious. Who do I have on my team that can take an Earthquake and an Iron Head? So I'm thinking, there we go. Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's going to make it so Bisharp does more damage to himself, and doesn't take too much damage from that Earthquake. So I'm going to take Gardevoir back, and I believe I do go into Ferrothorn. I do go into Ferrothorn like I did predict, thinking here. Gyarados goes for Protect, I'm like, meh. So the Bisharp does go for the Iron Head, and I'm thinking we're doing a speed tie here with my Rotom Wash and Bisharp. But the Iron Head is actually going to do less damage to me than I'm going to do to it with my Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. So whatever. So now I'm in a good position. I have a feeling his Bisharp's probably going to leave. He has no reason to stay in here. No super effective moves against either thing. We're pretty much resisted by both sides. So I'm thinking, okay, his Bisharp's going to leave. I'm going to Leech Seed his Bisharp, just to get damage off on whatever comes in. And I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Gyarados. Now I'm thinking, okay, if I can get this Will-O-Wisp off, its Earthquake isn't going to KO my Rotom. Or it's not going to KO my Ferrothorn or even come close to the Ferrothorn. So in comes Noivern frisking me for the Lumberry and the Rocky Helmet. I'm like, whatever, you can know what I do. So I get the Will-O-Wisp off, and this Gyarados is now burnt. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm in a great position, but then it goes for Taunt, and I'm like, oh, Rotom, why? Okay, whatever. I guess he thought he would outspeed me and get me before I get the Will-O-Wisp off. Joke's on him, I outsped him. So now the Gyarados is burnt, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I can survive an Earthquake. Now, I really should have looked at the numbers a little bit more detailed, because in reality, I can't survive another Earthquake. I mean, look at how much that did. That did about 100 damage. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, it did 100 damage. It's about half, so it would do about 50 damage. So you know what? Looking back at it, even though I didn't do the math in my head, you would think I would survive this Earthquake, and I might. I don't really remember if I do or not. And I'm also, you know, at this time, I'm looking up to see if Noivern carries fire moves, because I know if it carries a fire move, I need to get my Ferrothorn out of there. Now I can switch into my Conkeldurr or my Gardevoir, but I'm going to go into Gardevoir, because I think Gardevoir can handle a special attack a little bit better, especially since Noivern's can run Air Slash. So he goes for Protect, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't really attack you at all. That's fine. Except I did. I did go for the Earthquake on him. Thunderbolt. But he goes for the Earthquake on both my sides. And Gardevoir takes that like a champ, but unfortunately it crits my Rotom, which means that I am unfortunately going to go down. So I think I might have been right. I think I might have been able to survive that attack. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a pretty solid guess that I could have. So now I'm thinking, okay, what's my best switch in here? Well, he might still have Flamethrower. He didn't go for it, but he might still have Flamethrower. So I'm thinking, you know what, I think Conkeldurr might be the best. I'm not one-hit KO'd by a Mega Charizard Y, so I'm definitely not one-hit KO'd by the Noivern. Like, I'm pretty dang certain about that, you know, there's no questions in my mind that this Noivern can't one-shot me with an Air Slash. Unless it's Choice Specs, but it just used Protect, so it's most likely not Choice Specs. Although it could be, you never know, people run the weirdest sets. So I think what I go for here is, I Moonblast the Noivern and Drain Punch the Gyarados. We'll see in a second. I was a little hesitant because he did have that Aegislash on his team, so I might have gone for... Oh, I go for Rock Slide, actually. So he goes for the Air Slash and misses it. I was like, whatever. So I get the Noivern, I get the Moonblast off on the Noivern, and the Noivern goes down. And I do end up, I believe, going for Rock Slide because I didn't really predict the Rotom Heat, but I wanted to get the Noivern down, and it would still hit Gyarados, and Gyarados can't KO us from where we are. It does a respectable amount of damage, but the Citrus Berry is going to be bringing him much further up. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm in a pretty good spot right now. The Gyarados can't do much damage to my team. My Conkeldurr hits everything on his team remaining super effectively, so he's most likely going to try and target the Conkeldurr. Even if he doesn't, you know, I've got some workaround and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure what to do here. I think I go for Drain Punch on the Bisharp because I want to get that thing out of the way because I know it can KO my Gardevoir. And I think I switch back into... No, I don't switch into Ferrothorn here because I'm too worried about the Overheat, I think. I might be wrong. I think there was definitely one point in the battle where I switched in the Ferrothorn and he goes for Overheat. No, okay, yeah. I go for the Protect here, just expecting that Iron Head to come my way. Except Bisharp protects, and I'm like, oh, great. If I did go for... Yeah, okay, so he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and I'm like, yes! Oh, you're my favorite, I love you! Because I'm Guts, and stuff like that. So even though I didn't get the Drain Punch off, and even though to my opponent it looks like I'm in a bad spot, I'm actually in a really strong position. Because now I have a Guts-boosted Drain Punch, I have a Guts-boosted Conkeldurr that can hit his entire team super effectively. So I think I'm in a very strong position. And I'm like considering, you know, Bisharp can't protect now. It's not at plus whatever, and its Sucker Punch is resisted. So it does outspeed me, to be quite honest with you. But I think it might be targeting, you know, our Gardevoir, because he doesn't know that I'm not Guts. You know, I didn't have the Flame Orb. So I bring in my Ferrothorn here to take the Iron Head that I assume is coming. Instead, he goes for Sucker Punch on the Gardevoir. So he goes for an Overheat. I'm like, oh no, it's gonna hit my oh, okay, yeah, I'll take that. I thought he might have predicted the Ferrothorn to come in, but he doesn't. So I do get the Drain Punch off, and I have no reservations that this won't KO, and it does. So oh god, I'm so confused. I'm so tired. The Drain Punch takes out the Bisharp, brings my HP back up a little bit, almost to full, but the burn is gonna bring me down closer to half. And now it's Rotom Heat and Mega Gyarados versus Conkeldurr, Ferrothorn, and Mega Gardevoir. Now I know I can take out this Rotom Heat. I know I can with the Rock Slide. The question is, can I handle a Gyarados? I mean, it's burnt, true. Yeah, I can handle a Gyarados. Now, my next question is, should I keep my Gardevoir in? Ferrothorn in. I'm a little hesitant about the overheat, and I want to get rid of Rotom Heat before, so I go for the Protect, the safe Protect, just to see what he's going to do. He doesn't, in fact, go for the overheat on the Ferrothorn. I kind of predicted that. He goes for the Waterfall on my Conkeldurr. I'm like, I'm going to take that pretty well. I do. But then I flinch, and I'm like, oh, if that happens again, I'm going to be in a bad spot. So now I obviously can't protect from Ferrothorn, and even though the Rotom Heat is at -2, there's really no way of coming back from this. If I can get him to -4, that's a different story. So I'm going to take out my Ferrothorn and bring in Gardevoir. You know, that's what I think would be the best. And I think I predict his Gyarados to go for a Protect, and I go for a Rock Slide, just so I can make sure that Rotom goes down. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's what I do. We'll obviously see in a couple of seconds. But I'm also, contemplating a couple of turns ahead. If my Conkeldurr goes down, I have to be wary of the Gyarados and the Taunt, because it's going to shut down my Ferrothorn. I'm not going to be able to do too much damage, and especially considering that Power Whip doesn't do that much damage. So I bring it right down to the bottom, because I'm really not certain what to do here. I didn't want to kill my Gardevoir, because it was very important in getting rid of that Gyarados, especially considering how much damage it was doing. The Gyarados goes for Protect, which I kind of thought was going to come, and he goes for the Overheat, hoping he's targeting my Gardevoir. He does, and that's not going to do too much at -2. It really doesn't. Now he's at -4, and I feel much safer having my Ferrothorn around, and I do go for the Rock Slide to hopefully take out the Rotom Heat, knowing that it could miss, and it doesn't take him out, and I'm like, oh, geez, now what do I do? What do I do here? I was like, I do have Mach Punch. My Conkeldurr's almost dead. I do have Mach Punch. So you know what? I think I'll go for Mach Punch on the Rotom Heat, and I'll Moonblast the Gyarados. The Gyarados can't kill my Gardevoir at this range, and I'm pretty certain that I'm faster than it. I have 252 speed. I'm modest, but I do have 252 speed. I don't think Gyaradoses are that fast, so I think I do outspeed it, so I should be able to take it out from this range. Except for the Rotom going for Protect, and I'm like, oh, jeez, this Moonblast better KO this Gardevoir. And I better outspeed. So I do outspeed, I get the Moonblast off. Will it be enough? Of course it's going to be enough. It's a Mega Gardevoir. What do you got? You guys doubted me. So now I'm in a very good position, because Burn doesn't kill me, so I have 1 turn left. He has to pretty much go for the double Protect. This Mach Punch will take him out. But I don't actually think he does go for the double Protect. I think he just forfeits, I think. Yeah, he does forfeit. So that was the first battle. Pretty good. I was really happy that we did that well. A little sad that we didn't get to bring Dragonite, but the team didn't call for it, and honestly, Gardevoir and Conkeldurr were enough to take most of his team. I was worried about that Aegislash. I usually am. Aegislash, I mean, if you look at my team, Aegislash does run pretty hard through our team. I mean, Rotom Wash can handle it to an extent. Conkeldurr can take it on, but it can't come in with any previous damage, otherwise it loses out. Dragonite with Multiscale might be able to take it out effectively, but I actually run Mixed Dragonite for right now. So we'll get to this guy's team. This Jaden is bringing Tyranitar, Gudra, Heracross, I always want to call him Gambabunda, Greninja, Klefki, and Salamence. And I'm looking at this team, I'm like, well, Gardevoir hits like 5 out of his 16 super effectively. I'm bringing Gardevoir. And I was like, well, what else should I bring? I'm looking at his team, I'm trying to contemplate. Oh yeah, and then I bring up my Dragonite to see if I do have Flamethrower or not, because I know I was considering it. Because I don't have a Fire-type move for that Klefki, but I do have Earthquake on my Conkeldurr. So I'm considering, should I bring in Conkeldurr? And I was like, Conkeldurr does kind of hit his team decently hard. Then I was like, well, the Intimidate from the lead Salamence is going to be kind of painful. And I was like, oh, dude, this Klefki is going to swagger us. Yo, I need to bring Meowstic. So I bring Meowstic, and I'm like, well, I don't also really have anything to hit that Gudra really hard, Gardevoir is going to hurt it, but not a lot. So it's like, okay, I need to bring Dragonite for that, and, maybe we'll get a multi-scale weakness policy boost on it. And then I'm thinking, well, who could be our other one? And I said Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash hits a lot of things super effectively. It can handle the Greninja. And I'm sitting here hoping that I'm right with my predictions of what I brought. And we'll see, obviously, in a few seconds. But that was my thought process, I believe, behind it. Obviously, I'm retroactively doing this, so I don't really know exactly what my thought processes are. But I was afraid of that swagger, so I did bring in my Meowstic to handle that swagger. He starts off with Greninja and Klefki, and I'm like, Brodian! I just got Brodian! And then I was like, oh, nope, that's Prankster. Awkward. I really did, because they both start with P, and I was like, I got Brodian. Because, like, Parental Bond and Protean are some of the best abilities, and having that on a Mega... Well, then I realized, oh, Mega Gardevoir, I lose the ability anyway. Oh, well. But, so I'm just gonna Mega right off the bat. What I want to do here is I'm gonna set up a Safeguard and Protect. This way, I can see what the Greninja wants to do, and this way I can make sure that I don't get swaggered. So I do get that off. He goes for the Light Screen, so I don't actually protect here, do I? I don't know. He goes for Toxic Spikes, and I was like, why Toxic Spikes? You know, oh, I remember what happened. I thought he was going to go for Dark Pulse, and I was just like, I can take a Dark Pulse, I hope. You know, it's neutral. So I'm going to go for Moonblast and kill him. But he does Toxic Spikes, which is very unusual, but then I was just like, oh, great, my entire team's going to be... Oh, I brought Rotom and Dragonite, so any switch-ins to those aren't going to get poisoned. Whatever. Waste of your turn, but that's fine. So here, I'm actually going to protect to see what he's going to do, and I'm going to Thunder Wave him. This way, I can get him slower than me, so whatever he does, I can hit him super effectively the next turn, hoping he doesn't get another layer. Well, even if he did do Toxic Spikes again, Psychic to the face. So I paralyze him. He goes for Water Pulse, and I'm like, alright, interesting choice. He goes for Gardevoir, okay. Interesting choice. I have Energy Ball. I'm going to go for it. Then I'm like, oh, I should switch out my Meowstic. You know, he's kind of dead weight right now. He's not doing any attacks. He's not really helping. Reflect isn't going to really help. And then I was just like, you know what? For the heck of it, I'm going to paralyze the Klefki just in case. You know, you never know. It might want to go for Swagger. It might want to go for Foul Play. It might want to go for T-Wave itself. I do have Safeguard up, but, you know, later on I won't. So... Oh no, I actually go for Quick Art here. Just to burn a turn. I'm thinking a turn ahead. So I do go for the Energy Ball on the Greninja. This should take him out. If it doesn't, I'd cry. It does. So the Greninja goes down, doesn't get a chance this turn. I get the Quick Art up, but he's clearly not going for a Quick Art. He goes for Flash Cannon, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to do too much. Yeah, it's not going to do too much. They're not very offensively oriented, and I should be able to take that pretty well. So... That said, he brings out Heracross. I'm like, I'm going to Thunder Wave it. And I was like, it might have guts. I can't Thunder Wave it. And I was like, well, what are they going to do? You know? I really didn't know what it was going to do. And I was actually kind of banking on the fact that my Moonblast might be enough to take it out. It Mega Evolves, so I really didn't have to worry about that guts. But I'm thinking, what is this thing going to do to me? Bug is neutral to my Gardevoir. Super effective against my, I keep calling it Klefki, my Meowstic. I'm confused. So I went for a Reflect, just to nullify that physical attacks. He goes for Thunder Wave on me, but does it matter? No, because I have Safeguard. But he Pin Missiles the Gardevoir, and I'm like, well, now that the Reflect's up, I think I can take this, and I'm pretty sure a Moonblast could take it out, right? That makes sense. So I Thunder Wave the Klefki here. I know I don't have to Thunder Wave the Heracross because it's super slow, and I Thunder Wave the Klefki just in case. I do get the Moonblast off, and I'm like, this should KO, right? Like, it's a Heracross. Ah, so close. And then it Pin Missiles, and I'm like, oh, there goes Meowstic? Yes, kill me, because I wanted to safe switch into something else. Kill me. Yes! And that was like the first time I've ever been excited for something to die. So Meowstic faints, and now I have a safe switch into something. I'm no longer protected by Safeguard, so now I'm thinking, okay, Rotom Wash, Dragonite. I'm gonna go for Rotom. Here's the reason. Dragonite can't hit anything super effectively. Now I have Hurricane, but I was just like, Hurricane can miss. I can't rely on that. And while I do outspeed with Gardevoir, you know, a Flash Cannon could crit, you know, so Rotom, Gardevoir, best moves. Moonblast the Heracross, Hydro Pump the Klefki. Those are my best moves. I'm not gonna burn the Heracross because let's be real here, Moonblast will KO it. He does get paralyzed. He doesn't get his thing off. He was going to go for paralysis himself, but Moonblast goes off. He dies. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Go bye. Go bye-bye. Good night. I get Hydro Pump off on the Klefki, and I'm like, yes. Wow. That does a lot. That does a lot. I only have like 44 special attack, and I'm calm, I believe, so it doesn't... That was really surprising. In comes the Tyranitar. I'm like, is this thing gonna be special? I hope you're special. I need my weakness policy boost. Tell me if you're special, Tyranitar. But I'm like, I'm gonna go for Moonblast Hydro Pump again. My best bet. It really is. I know Moonblast won't KO the Tyranitar, but I don't really care. Tyranitar goes for Protect, and I'm like, boo! You suck. But Klefki breaks through the paralysis and gets the Thunder Wave off on my Mega Gardevoir, which I really don't care. I'll be slower than Tyranitar next turn, but I don't really care. Yeah, so then I get the Hydro Pump off on the Klefki 2 times in a row, might I add. And the Klefki goes down, and I'm like, yes, alright, now you can't hurt me. Aw, yeah, no swagger, no swagger, no swagger. But, now, you know, Sandstorm's racking up damage. I obviously can't switch in my Dragonite on anything because its multi-scale will be broken. So I'm just going to go for Moonblast, Hydro Pump, hope for the best. Those two combined together should be more than enough to take out this Tyranitar. So I get the Hydro Pump off. It's going to bring it to about a little over half. But then Weakness Policy, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. It's going to go for the Crunch, which may be neutral. But it's at +2. And Stab. So good night, Gardevoir. Thank you for your time. So now I'm a little weary. I have Dragonite and Rotom Wash. And I'm thinking, oh boy, what am I going to do? To be quite honest, I don't know what I do. I think I go for Draco Meteor. And Will-O-Wisp, because we know he's physical, so I'm going to bring him back down to neutral. I don't want him to, you know, super sweep me. There's no need for that right now. I go for the Draco Meteor, and I'm hoping this is enough to KO him. It's Stab, it's unresisted, he's in the sand, but still, it should do quite a lot. It doesn't do enough. It barely does anything, to be quite honest with you. Then he goes for Rock Slide. I'm like, yes! Yes! Because then I get multi-scale. And I'm like, well, now after the burn, not only will my extreme speed put you in a position where you will die, you know, I don't want to miss with Hurricane or miss with Draco Meteor, but then I don't have to worry about using Hydro Pump. I can just use Thunderbolt on your butt, and that'll kill you, right? I hope so. So I go for Extreme Speed, Thunderbolt. That's my best combo. I got nothing else. Extreme Speed, boop, 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 at +2, enough to take out. Yay! So, there goes the Tyranitar. Behemoth has fallen. Aw, yeah. And that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys watching. A little unusual with the post-narration, but thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you at the next video. Peace!